Hello, welcome everyone to Tuesday Testimonial. I am so glad everyone is here. We have an amazing lineup, three wonderful people to share, four different stories. It is going to be awesome, new stories to be told and to be heard. So, my name's Nicole. I've been with Plexus for about 2 years now. And as some of you know, Plexus is a gut health company. And if you're unfamiliar with that, what that means is it focuses on the gut. It focuses on the microbiome, every part of our being. And these products that we take, different variations, work for everyone in different ways. And this is something you're about to find out and learn. And I cannot wait to jumpstart it. So I'm going to hand the mic right over to Miss Megan, who is going to share her experience with the product.
Okay, time me, okay? You can cut me off, Nicole. So I've been doing Plexus for 2 years, and my story, I think the biggest results that I've had have been with fibromyalgia, but it's actually been so much more than that. I actually started Plexus for acid reflux that had been out of control, and many other things were just off at that time. And my life had kind of started to feel like just a long list of what I can't do anymore. It was like, because of the reflux, I can't sing anymore like I used to. I was losing my vocal cords. And I'm a choir director, so that's not a good thing. I was very active in tennis and salsa dancing. I'm a classical pianist, so I was used to sitting at the piano hours a day, and it just became like no more tennis, no more salsa dancing, no more sitting at the piano, because I was just in so much pain. And it was affecting my life in such a huge way. And for me, like, my symptoms got much, much worse after I had my kids, and especially my second, Luca, who's now 4. It was like I was just in this huge flare of pain during that time, like around I'm trying to think back, right around when he was 2 years old. That was just an awful, awful year for me, because I was slipping discs in my back so often that I couldn't get him out of his crib, and I couldn't pick him up. The only way he could be on my lap is if he came up to me, which, he's 2, so I can't really keep up with the 2-year-old feeling like that. So I started Plexus for my acid reflux because I had heard some stories that it helped people with their reflux. And from the day I started, I have not had reflux. And I think that's pretty quick. I mean, it was kind of like a miracle for me, because I've been on so many medications for so many years, back to my teens. I'm 41 now. I was 39 when I started. And it's just been years of Prilosec and all the over-the-counters. So I have not had the reflux since I started. What was surprising to me was about 10 days in, I noticed that a foot problem that another really bad degenerative foot problem that I had, I could walk without pain. And it really surprised me, and I thought it was just a fluke, but it just kept getting better. So it wasn't a fluke. It's awesome. And the fibromyalgia, probably by the end of my first month, I noticed I started waking up in less pain and more flexible. Like, it used to be that I would wake up, go straight down to the floor, and spend almost an hour stretching to be able to start my day. And I used to feel like an 80-year-old I was in my 30s, but I felt like I was in my 80s or something. I just spent so much time every day stretching, just trying to make it through the day. And so after about a month, that was getting much better. After about 4 months, you guys, it was amazing. It was like I was freed from that thing. And since then, it's been, instead of all the things I can't do anymore, it's been like one by one getting all the things back. My voice is coming back. I played tennis this summer. I'm back to salsa dancing, rollerblading, playing crazy with the kids. It has been like, it's given me my life back. So I'm 2 years into it now. And I was just talking to Chris Jenkins, who's on this call. I was just talking to her about this today. My foot problem that I had has gotten gradually better and better, but it's degenerative and it's not supposed to get better. But what happened this summer is I finally, first time in years, I can go swimming without wearing my athletic or my aquatic tennis shoes with my orthotics. So like I can go swimming like a normal person. And you guys, that's really exciting to me. So it's just been really great. I feel like I just keep gaining things back, and I am back to dancing. I'm back to just like I feel like I'm stronger than I've been in years. I'm able to sit at the piano as long as I need to practice. I can do everything with my kids. I can do things now with my 8-year-old that I probably couldn't have done in my 20s. So that is how exciting Plexus has been for me. And that's why I'm so passionate about telling people and letting them know, because I mean, everybody's story is different, like you'll hear tonight, but it works in your body in such an amazing way that so many different things can just be incredibly changed. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. I think I kept it right to 5, I hope.
You did awesome. Oh my gosh. So, Megan, I have a question for you, real quick, from Ashley. She's asking, what products did you start with?
I started with Triplex
Okay.
and X Factor Plus. And I since then, like I've really tried like all of the products because I love them all. But I take a pretty high dose of the ProBio 5.
Yeah.
Um, I will do between 3 and 4 most nights of the ProBio 5, and that seems to really, really help me a lot. And so I've done great with just that. This summer, I did add an ease, and that's made a world of difference too. I love ease. I love active. So my regimen, like right now, is Triplex, X Factor, active, and ease pretty regularly. So, and the other ones, like I have them all. I really like them all. So,
It's hard not to choose, like I love
yeah,
ease though, and I totally can relate with your story in so many ways because I also have fibromyalgia. And so just you describing and saying how getting out of bed and you felt like an 80-year-old woman, oh, totally can relate to that. And it is amazing that you're able to dance again. And someday we will be dancing together. I know it.
yeah.
Maybe, yes, baby.
It's just been so freeing, that I feel like it's just freed me from so many things and just given me my life back. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Megan, for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome. Oh, wow. Okay. So now I'm going to pass the mic over to Miss Erica. Erica is going to be sharing her husband's journey, which I haven't heard yet. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Nicole. And yes, thank you for sharing, Megan. That was the first time I've heard your story. So that was really inspiring. It's funny because I hear stories like yours and so many others, and I always think, well, my story's not that spectacular. it's pretty simple. I've been blessed with good health overall, my whole family, my kids, my husband. But that just is what I love about Plexus, because it just goes to show that, it's not like a one size fits all, and no matter how small or big your symptoms are, that one tiny little capsule, can seem to help us all in so many different ways. So I, just quickly about myself, I started Plexus 4 years ago. I had to look it up this morning because I was like, has it really been 4 years? It's crazy. But yeah, for 4 years, my sister, I don't know if some of you know, I am Andrea Violet's baby sister. And so she started me on the products. Mostly my biggest thing was lack of energy. I have 2 kids, and at the time they were 4 and 1. And I just, after having a 1-year-old, I had gained some weight, and I just felt blah. Like I just didn't have the energy that I wanted and once had. So I started for energy, and it just took off from there. I felt amazing. I was able to get back at the gym. within 6 months, I had a gym membership and I was going every day, just feeling great. And so that was my biggest thing, just trying to gain some of that life back into me. And my husband, for the first couple years, was a super skeptic. He just didn't really know what I was doing or what these products were. And he didn't really say a whole lot. He supported it. And I started sharing, and so he kind of kept his ears open. But my husband and I had been together for 15 years, which also seems crazy. And I just remember some of those first few summers we were together, he suffered so bad from these mostly just seasonal allergies. Like when spring rolled around, his eyes would puff up so bad. Nighttime sleeping would be awful. He had to take medication every day for it. He's also allergic to cats and like dust, and just has a whole like list of allergies. And so I remember him coming to me one night and he's like, so I kind of like accidentally read an article about probiotics and gut health in relation to allergies. And I was like, oh, well, did you know? So let's talk about that. And he was very open to discussing it. But it's one of those things that's crazy because you know, when you have gut issues and you have stomach or joint pain and stuff like that, you might, think about gut health, but allergies, like especially stuff that's in your head, you just don't really associate that, I don't think. So he was receptive to it after a while. It took him a while, but I said, why don't you just try a couple probiotics? That's what we started on, probiotic and BioCleanse. And he doesn't take any medication anymore, I have to say. This is this past year. And this year was like allergies, I think, for people who don't even normally have seasonal allergies, were suffering a little bit. I don't know what the deal was this year, but I remember maybe there was like 1 weekend, 2 nights he took like an over-the-counter allergy pill, maybe a couple nights, but nothing like he used to. And I am just so happy and relieved for him because he can actually be able to enjoy the outdoors. And he, anytime he mowed, he'd be out there like mowing and achoo, achoo. I could hear him out there, and I just felt so bad. It was so sad. So now he can like successfully mow the lawn without feeling like he's gonna have a attack. So yeah, I think it's been a huge blessing for him and for myself. Just general, I don't go a day without it. I love Vital Biome. I think the other big thing for me is anxiety and just a little bit of that stress that we all have. I swear by Vital Biome. It's right on my nightstand, and I take one every morning, and that's been a blessing for me. So yeah.
Wow. I didn't mean to laugh. I know we all were, but it is, you can just picture your poor husband mowing and then just sneezing away.
It's true. It's just, there were just days I just would feel so bad. It's just like nothing you can almost do. And he doesn't like to take medication. So I think for people who don't really like to take medication or don't like to go to the doctors, it's such a good alternative for something like him that can be prevented and, over the course of time. It wasn't immediate for him. It took a little while to get into his system, but
Yeah.
definitely I don't think, I can't see him going back from here. So it's been a huge relief, literally, for all of us.
That is awesome. It's really good because then you don't have to worry about, making sure you always have the allergy med, when the season starts up, because that's all taken care of. And
absolutely.
So thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
All righty. So now we have Miss Jen, and Jen is going to be talking about her little daughter Penelope and then also herself. And these stories are intertwined, and so that's why she's going to be telling both of them. And I only know little bits. And so I look forward to hearing it. So I will pass it over to you, Miss Jen.
Okay, so honestly, like both my Penelope's story starts when she was born. Like she just never felt comfortable. She was always making belly noises. She wouldn't eat a lot. She would eat like a little bit of a bottle and we were like, yay. Or my mom would say, you know, she would come over, we'd go to my mom's house and she'd have like half of a baby yogurt. And she'd be like, that's normal for her. Like that, she never ate well. We just always knew that something was wrong, like from the get-go. She was always clingy. She always had ear infections. Like her ear infections were so bad, she got tubes at 10 months. So she was on like a ton of antibiotics. So between that and then being on the antibiotics, I know that her gut now was all messed up, right? So it went from that to now we have to potty train her, right? So we're having her sit and she's like sitting on the potty for like an hour. She can't go. She's struggling. She's crying. You know, it's killing me. We have multiple doctor's appointments. We're like, I feel like we're at the doctor's like every weekend, you know, calling the on-call doctor, seeing them on every Saturday, seeing them on Sunday, for the same thing. So like, just for like constipation, she can't poop. What's wrong? It's been 3 to 4 days. So they give her Miralax. They tell her to go on Miralax. Well, okay, so she's on that, and that's still not helping. And this went on for a really long time. I honestly don't even know how long it went on for. But I just remember at one point, and this is now, while this is all happening, Andrea is like slowly trying to put, the buzz in my ear, and I'm like ignoring her, like, nope, this is just how it's going to be. We're going to try all these other things. Then my mom starts, and, one thing about me is I have to think about something and then do it when it's right for me. But then it just got to the point that like it was taking over our life. Like this whole constipation and Penelope not being able to poop was just taking over. And I finally had to push with the doctor, with her pediatrician. So I think it was Memorial Day weekend. It was that Friday of like 2017, I think that was the year. And I said, okay, we can't do this anymore. We have to do something. Like we have to just, her belly's distended. She's not active anymore. And this is a girl who was like active, loved to run around, loves to do things. And she's like, doesn't want to do anything. And she's like clinging to me. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. Like this affected her socially, physically, all ways. And so we go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, okay, so they're like, we're going to do some blood work. We're going to test for like all kinds of things. So they tested her, they took some blood and they tested her. And she calls me that Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. And she's like, okay, her celiac numbers are just off the charts. And she's like, you need to call this GI doctor right away. So we went to the GI doctor. We got an appointment pretty fast, and not to get into detail, we didn't love our GI doctor. It wasn't very nice. Penelope had to have a front end endoscopy to diagnose the celiac, and she was diagnosed with it. And this was at, I think, around 3 years old. And that was like the scariest thing I've ever had to do, because they have to put her under, and she can't eat in the morning when she goes, right? So, because she's the first one, because she's the youngest patient. So I have to sit in the car, and like she can't eat or drink anything, and she's looking at me like, how come I can't have anything to eat or drink, right? So so to make a long story short, we get the diagnosis, and then the doctor's like, Miralax, just keep her on the Miralax, eat gluten-free, We do all that. It's helping, but it's not helping enough. She's still inconsistent. She's still sitting on the bathroom. She's still struggling. She's crying. She's afraid to go to the bathroom because constipation was her number one issue. And mom keeps telling me, Denise, she keeps telling me, and, just do this, just try this. You got to try this. You got to try. And Andrea does it. And both of them never were pushy about it. And None of them tried to like push it on me. I'm going to be fine. But I finally just called, I think I called Andrea like a February of like when we first moved into our house. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I said to her, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch her struggle. So she's like, Jen, you should just try it. Just try it. So she's like, I won't even put it under mine. She's like, we'll just put it under Deanna's. So that way, you know that I'm not trying to sell you anything. So we try it. So she's like, Jen, just try the cleanse. Just try the cleanse. And she's like, just give her this and give her the vital biome. The poor thing's been through, you know, all these antibiotics, ear tubes at 10 months old, celiac diagnosis, her gut's a disaster. Like you just started with this and that. So like maybe just a few weeks later, we already noticed like the cleanse was working and the vital biome. And she was like going to the bathroom, and then slowly, like a few months later, she started to open up. She started to just be more like herself. She was being more active. And it took a while, probably close to 6 months to a full year, until she was like really, really in a good place. And now, if you saw pictures of her then and now, it's like two different kids. You know, she's got hair growing in now. I mean, she had like no hair going in because probably she wasn't gaining any nutrients, right? Because, I mean, she even had restless leg syndrome so bad it would keep her up for hours because her body wasn't absorbing iron. I remember like messaging Andrea about it and being like, I don't know what to do with her. You know, she's up for hours, you know, complaining about her leg, and come to find out it all just was related, you know? So, I mean, just to see her now and look back, it's amazing. She just, I mean, her hair is so long and thick. She's like she's a little thicker, like she's still petite and small, but she's definitely grown. And then through all that, through all of this, we were so focused on, this is where my story comes in. Through all of this, I was so set on trying to make her better that I lost like my own sense of myself, because I wanted to help her so much. And our life revolved around making sure she went to the bathroom, making sure she took her vitamins, and her, as we call them, vitamins, because if I told them they were this other stuff, she probably wouldn't take it. So I say, you gotta take your vitamins, you know. So I got so caught up in that I lost myself, and I saw a counselor. I had anxiety. I realized I had postpartum depression. I was total in denial. Like I went there for that. And I just kept telling myself, I don't have it. Oh, I just have a little bit of it. It's not that bad. I just have a little postpartum. And looking back, I definitely had full on like postpartum depression. I didn't want to go anywhere. I would cancel people when people had invitations for things. I can't even tell you how many like barbecues we didn't go to, because I was so scared to bring Penelope out, and like getting used to eating gluten-free and just like being around people again. It's almost like you have to relearn how to be with people again.
Honey, you're doing such a good job. I can't imagine everything that you guys went through.
So I realized that seeing the counselor helped, but it wasn't enough. And I saw how good Penelope was doing. And I just finally just started taking her vital biome. And I just said, what do I've got to lose at this point? You know, I didn't tell anybody I did it, but I just tried it. I mean, before that, I was a mess. Like I was like moody. I was so like not nice to my husband. Like I just felt like poor Steven is such a trooper, because I feel like I would yell at him and get mad at him over like the stupidest thing. And I would try to think like I have to do everything by myself. And I tried it, and like a month or just a few weeks later, I already started seeing results. Like I started feeling like I could breathe again, like I could be myself again, that I could just it took a while to slowly go back into like see people again, like, and go out into that world again. Because I felt like I just kind of had to keep everything in house. Like I had to be in my home with my kids and my family, and that's how I was able to keep them safe, right? And that's like the first sign of depression, right? Is when you don't want to leave your house and you don't want to see anybody. And I just realized I was just going through the steps. I wasn't enjoying life. I wasn't enjoying the little things. I couldn't be happy. So I started taking the Vital Bind, when that helped immediately. And then I think Andrea did like a pink drink challenge. And at first, now granted, mind you, I was a total skeptic. Like it took me years to get Penelope on this. Like I should have started her right away, like right freaking away, right? When the doctor was telling us to try the Miralax, like I should have done it. And like that Miralax sucks. Like nobody should be on that, right? So she did a pink drink challenge. Mom's like, okay, so take these pink drinks. So I took them, and I'm like, I don't know about this pink drink. I don't know. It's like, what's all this hubbub about it? And I tried it, and then like immediately I started feeling more energetic, and I started feeling like I could enjoy life again. And that was probably over a year ago, Mom. Is that right? About a year. So, and I have to say, it was slow. I started feeling better, like I could go off, but honestly, like if Andrea and Mom did not push for me, not push because they weren't pushy, if they didn't keep putting the buzz in, I don't think I would be in here. So I think that's it. I think that's all of my stories, but there's so much more I could say, but I don't want to be here for too long.
And she has since, I'll just add on because we can save this for another time, but since had another pregnancy and birth of a beautiful little baby girl, a plexus baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that has been such a different experience with her. So I'm just so thankful for all of the changes, and I'm proud of you for being brave and sharing. I know it's,
thanks.
Yeah.
It was, she's, the difference between Penelope and Alexander, the pregnancy itself has been like so drastic. It's just, and I know it's because I wasn't in a good place, you know, and my pregnancy, getting pregnant with Alexander took much shorter than mine with Penelope. It took us a full year. We almost started in vitro for that. We had it our first appointment. So I think that's it.
Jen, that was incredible.
Thanks.
I mean, you completely have, I mean, everyone has touched everyone today. And I cannot imagine what you guys went through. And when you have a little one that is suffering so hard, it's hard. It's
you know.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah. And this is when Nicole can't talk because I don't know what to say other than I wish I could give you a really big hug. And I'm so thankful you're here and that you said yes to your mom and to Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Of course you can.
When Jen did leave, one thing I just wanted to add is when Penelope was sick, you know, you kind of go on this thing where you feel like, where she touched a little bit, where you feel like you have to have a safe zone. And Jen really did retreat. And we all kind of did. And I think it was kind of hard. And I do have to say with Andrea and Erica and Lauren, that everybody did, you know, it was hard for all of us to understand, like, celiacs, what do you mean gluten-free? What's this, what's that? And I think, you know, I was probably a little paranoid at first, and I think Jen was too, because we were just so nervous about her getting sick. Because one thing I just want to hit on is with the celiacs, Penelope did have a few exposures, and when she did have exposures, which means there was cross-contamination and she did have gluten, that when that did happen, she really, really got sick. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it happened 3 times with Penelope. And the last time it happened, she ended up at the hospital because before plexus, because when she did get exposed to the gluten, her body would react that she'd get so sick, she would throw up and just couldn't stop. And the last time it happened, Jennifer had to take her to the hospital because she ends up like a wet noodle. She just is limp, no energy. And each time she gets exposed, there are some, Jen probably can explain a little bit better, but there are side effects that can last that happen for her later on in life. But anyway, having said that, we were all so paranoid of her having exposures that we were all like paranoid about her eating or people coming around, and we were all very uptight, like the first 6 months, I want to say, until we all kind of got a feel for how it should go. And then I think once we knew how well Plexus was working with her, we almost kind of felt like Plexus kind of put like a shield, I want to say, kind of around her a little bit, because now her body was absorbing all the nutrients, and because she was becoming stronger, Jen was becoming stronger, I think we all were, that we felt like we could relax. So I think all of us being on Plexus, because our whole family is really, I don't know in our family at this point that's not on Plexus, but I think we all felt like she was now being protected because she was healthy.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much, Denise, for adding that, because I'm not very, like, I know of celiac, but I'm not very familiar with it. So you explaining more into depth about that's really scary, and I'm really sorry that you guys went through that. And that, again, I have no words. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's an autoimmune, so she's gonna have it for the rest of her life. So it's not gonna go away. This just helps. Like, I like how you said it in the post, that you said she found relief, because that's really what it was. It wasn't, there's no cure, you know, she's gonna have it forever. So this is just a way for her to live and be able to do the things that she can do now, right? That's ultimately what you want your child to be able to do, is to enjoy being a kid, right? And that's what she can do now. She can be a kid. She can go off and do these things. She can run, she can jump, she can go back to being her silly self. And like, I remember one time at daycare, Penelope's not one to give me any grief. Like, she did during remote learning, but that's different. So, but like, she's not a problem child, you know, she doesn't misbehave a lot. And I remember picking up from daycare one day, and this is when she started to feel really good. And she started to give me grief about leaving. Like, she like melted down and like laid on the floor. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, oh my gosh, you actually get to like act like a kid right now. Like, I've never seen, like, I almost took it in like a positive way because she's never done that before. So she was probably just so like timid and scared, right? And now she can like feel good, and she's like, hey, like, I don't want to leave. I like it here at school, you know, just. So I tried, I mean, she's never done that again, but like, I tried to take it as a positive. Like, this was something that she was doing because she felt good, you know? But yeah, it's been a journey. And I think that it's been a 6-year journey because she's 6 now. So really this has been a journey of 6 years. And I can attest to that. I should have probably started earlier too. So, but we're so happy that we did, because I would never go back to what it was like. I would never, and anybody who ever tells their kid that their kid's on Miralax, I want to like just yell at them, but I can't. I can't yell at them.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing. Before we conclude the night, does anybody have questions for Megan, Erica, or Jen? No, okay. What I will just ask real quick is, Jen, what are the current products that Penelope is taking?
So she takes the Vital Biome in the morning she takes 2 cleanse, and she takes the 2 cleanse in the morning, and then she's on the kid vitamin.
Okay.
And I alternate the days because which I don't even know if I have to anymore, but I'm so scared to take her off of it. I wanted to get her an iron because she was on iron. I didn't say this, but she was on an iron supplement for a long time because she was so low on iron because of the restless leg. So we finally were able to get her off the iron supplement. So I have her on the kids vitamin every other day, and then like the Nature's Light, the Rainbow Light vitamin that has iron in it. So I have her take that the other day, alternate days. And then I think that's it. The cleanse, the vitamin, and the Vital Biome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's good to know that. All right. Oh, thank you everyone for jumping on and joining. And as you can see, with these 4 amazing, completely different stories, how these products have changed everyone's life in so many different ways. You know, I like to say that this is a great buddy system, which is what it is for Penelope, right? And if you want it for weight loss or an autoimmune condition, it can do so many things. And beyond blessed to have found this company and this community and the products. And please reach out to whoever invited you here, whoever shared this video to you. If you have any questions for any of the ladies that shared, definitely reach out to your sponsor or the person that invited you, and we can get you in contact with them. But until next Testimonial Tuesday, you guys all have a wonderful night.